All right, here we are at Joe Kurz Wildlife Management Area near Gay, Georgia. This is the new updated map, and I'm going to do a test run here to see how fast it is and if I have successfully avoided the briers while designing this course. Many thanks to Kevin for the new lidar and all the help with the vegetation images, etc., etc. So here we go. Here's your green course, about 5.7K, and here's your first leg. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to look at each of these legs. Pause the video if you need longer than that. And then we're going to play back. All right, here we go. Yellow, of course, is various levels of open. The darkest yellow is really open. The lighter yellow is rough open, and then they're yellow with white spots and yellow with green spots. Sticking to these trails at first, and then I decide to go off around this green. Maybe I should have gone further and gotten on the other trail on the other side. Not clear exactly which would be faster. But I'm skirting the outside of the green, and for some reason I'm thinking these trees are on top of the hill, but they're not. So, all right, there's number one. Of course, there's no controls or tape. Here's your second leg. Take a look at that. Trying to line these up as if you were turning the map. So yeah, my plan is pretty simple. I'm going to go connect these roads and trails and then go down the spur. It's a little greener there. I've updated, made some more updates to the map since I made this video. Cross the stream, and yeah, these streams can be a little difficult for a 70-year-old man to get across. But yeah, it can be done. If I can do it, you can do it. And then the big pit. Here's your number 3. "15 seconds seems like a long time." Yeah, but that's, a good measure. You should not be taking a whole lot of time to read the map. I should have done here is run down the yellow, the rough open. Instead, I went through the woods, and it sort of forced me off to the south anyway. I would have been better off going down the rough open. But then it was time to decipher these little trails. Go past the green, make sure we make the correct turn, and then across the hill, looking at the ditches as we go. We want the last one. What could be easier than to run across the ditches until you hit the last one and then duck in? All right, here's your number 4, and this will give us our first look at one of these big open fields. They manage these fields for the wildlife, birds, deer, dove, quail, turkey. They're not doing it for orienteers. So there are various vegetation out in the fields. The rough open is the best running out here in these fields. There is no real open. The green bar indicates various levels of stuff that's left over from the last time they cut it. But this particular rough open has just been planted in something. Don't ask me what it is. But it is very easy running, except of course the ground is soft and you sink in. But these green things are little copses of green trees. All right, here's your 4 to 5. So we're going to run further into the fields. I only gave you 10 seconds on that one. Sorry. But yeah, we're crossing this huge field. These are, kind of fun to run across. There's an unmapped green thing coming up here. What the heck? I guess the mapper made a mistake here. That would be me. Left something off. But what I'm looking for ahead of me, way out there ahead of me, are a couple of green blobs. One of them has a tree, and boy, I'm keeping a straight line. That is remarkable. But I can see the tree coming up, so I know which one that is, and I need the next one. There's our tree. We're in the green bar here. As you can see, we've lost the row crop thing that was planted. Duck in and get this one. All right, here's your number 6. Here there are a bunch of green blobs mapped here, and all these things look as if they could just be mowed over at any time, but for some reason they haven't been. The next time they plant out here, they'll probably mow these things over. And there are mown paths through these things, and they hardly ever seem to be going the way you want to go. I did not map those because they are so transitory. They'll probably go away by next year. Yep, so just find the biggest one, and it's right next to the copse of trees. So yeah, here's your number 7. This is a long leg cutting back across the field from where we just were. So if possible, it would be good to go in a straight line, but I find a whole bunch of more of these mown paths through the field, and I keep jumping from one to the next because they're not going the way I want to go. I'll run on one for a while, and then I'll see one over to my right, and I'll skip over to that one and run on that one. Finally, I come out on the really open field, and now is when I should be going in a straight line. Fortunately, I'm not quite sure where I am, but I can see off in the distance trees and things. They could be the ones I'm looking for. As long as I've got pretty much the right angle. I am going in a very straight line, although I'm not quite on the straight line. That green bar off to the left in the rough open with scattered trees, yeah. Try to avoid going in those areas if possible. It's just some advice from the mapper. Yep, hit the road, come around, and yeah, that is a building. And yeah, I can see a building. These are old shanties that are still existing out there in these old cotton fields. And what we want is a dot and hole just past the old building. There we go. Here's your number 8. Yep, time to say goodbye to the open fields. We're going to go down and go back into the woods. Across this one. This is not quite as clean as the last ones we did, but it's still very clean. My plan is to drop down, trying to maintain the straight line, find the stream, cross the stream, and there should be a ditch junction on the other side. Of course, there's lots and lots of ditches down in here, so if you get off, yeah, it's easy to go to the wrong one. But visibility is great in here, and there are no briars. Fantastic. Number 9. All right, this one, even though it looks complicated, is super easy too, because there's a spur running down there. We're just going to go down the spur. We're going to cross two big trails on the way. The black X's there are old moonshine stills. There are a lot of those on this map. So we're going to go down the spur until we run out, and there should be a little hill on the other side of the stream with the rootstock on it. Piece of cake. Plus the fact that those two streams just funnel you right in there. The old man has to find somewhere to get across, up, and the rootstock. All right, here's your number 10. That's almost vertical. Sorry, I didn't line things up perfectly. Close enough. In this case, yeah, I got to get back across that stream. So I'm going down, and there's might be a little hard to see there, but those are fairly steep earth banks that are mapped. I had to stop and think about that. Where am I going to get across? Yep. So I'll go across, and it's not the first gully, but the second one. So up and over, and then down in. Here's your number 11. And it's very, unsteep, if that's a word. Not much climb, really. So the trick is to maintain a straight line going through these things. I mean, it looks like you should be able to read these contours, but it's so gradual, it's hard to see. So I know that when I cross this trail, there should be a rootstock somewhere close by. And I do see one over there. So yeah, I'm pretty good on my line. I'm looking for a very shallow reentrant with a ditch in it. Extremely open over here. Oh, there it is. Drop right on down in there. Here's your number 12. This is the leg where I actually made a mistake. I go down and across the big stream, up the other side, and get on the trail. Good so far. Some of these trails are not that visible, but yeah, this is a vehicle track, basically. It's nice and wide. It's very clear once you get on it, anyway. First mistake I made was I got off it too soon. I should have gone a little further. And then I started drifting north, not maintaining my straight line. So that by the time I dropped down off the spur, I am way north of my line, and I'm almost down there by the big creek, White Oak Creek. And I see it off to the side. I think, what the heck? So now I'm going to start angling off. Yeah. What I should have done here is just get on that road, run up to that rootstock, and then go in from there and use that rootstock as my attack point. I'm slogging through here. It's very wet. I finally come up to the actual marsh, where it's even wetter, and falter. If I'd only gone just a little further, and I decide to come back. Let's see, I'm going to go over here to this rootstock. Oh, that's the rootstock that's on the trail. Okay, well, I know where I am now. So I was able to turn around. That's what I should have done from the beginning. And there is the still. All right, here's number 13. Turned and are heading back toward the finish, but it's very flat down in here. So do not rely on following a contour line. Cross the first stream. These various black X's are logging equipment that's been left out here. Oh, there's a fall. Sorry. The old man doesn't always stay upright. What I'm looking for is this. It's mapped as a ruined earth wall. It's a string of little dot knoll type things. Really stumps, the dirt from stumps that have all decayed. But since it's so flat out here, it's easy to see. All right, number 14. I could have gone out to the road here, but yeah, it would take time to get up to the road. And it's fairly open. Only got, a couple little green things to cross. So I just went for it. Of course, it's the stream that's going to stop you. That is some medium green along that stream, but I managed to avoid that once I got across the stream. And following along until I see a pile of rocks. All right, here's your 15 to the finish. We're just going to do all this at once. And once again, I could have gone to the road, but yeah, I was so close to the field. I just went up into the field, around the edge of that big gully. That is a big gully. And then cut across the woods on the other side, heading for the long, narrow field. And that field is very visible from a distance. You can see the green grass over there. Yep, right for the field, and then a sprint down that beautifully cut field, right into the finish. So yeah, this is going to be a very fast map. Hardly any briers on this map, on this side of the road anyway, and lots of big open fields to run through. In fact, this was my fastest minutes per kilometer in quite some time, 10 minutes and 53 seconds per kilometer. That's great, over 5.7K. So yeah, I would say that if you can get out to this meet, yeah, it'd be great. March the 10th, 2024. There's your preview. That's what it's like running in the fields at Joe Kurz Wildlife Management Area.